Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
We will be moving to another classroom because it's got like this hot effect here. The ventilation is not good, even though it's not that hot outside, but it has this funnel effect, and the AC is not working properly, so we can't turn it on. So we will be going to a classroom which is next to the Satsang Sankirtan hall and above the dining hall. Self-service ashram. Everybody carries their own asan and the table and of course themselves. All right. All right. Yeah. We need about 10 volunteers. We'll need help to move the AV system. All right. All that is happening tomorrow. Okay. So we need to move the AV system. We need to clean the place because we were telling Swamiji, we can't move because who will clean the place? And what did Swamiji say? Get them to clean the place. Let them clean the place. They will be using the place. Let them clean the place. So now we have for tomorrow, when is the chanting? So we have 6:30 to 7:30 class. And then when is the chanting? 9 o'clock. No, for tomorrow. We have sent it in the thing. Tomorrow, 9 o'clock. 9 to 10 is the chanting. So, maybe because we have 1 hour, so 7:30 breakfast, so we have about 8:15 to, we should make it 9:45 to 10:45 chanting, so that from 8:15 to 9:45 you get enough time to clean the place. Otherwise it will be broken into 2 chunks. So please make that amendment for tomorrow's schedule. What is the amendment? The chanting class, what time will it meet? 9:45 to 10:45. And so 6:30 to 7:30. 7:30 is breakfast. 8:15 you will pretend you are in the Upanishad class, but you will be cleaning the place. All right, yeah, you will be enacting verse number 2 of the Ishavasya Upanishad. Kurvan eveha karma ani jiji vishet chatagam sama aha. Okay, yeah. So keep chanting that and doing that. And so who are the volunteers? 1, 2, 3, 4. Somebody take down their names. Tripura, take down everybody's names. Come. Keep your hands up, please. Yeah. More than 10 also okay. We need some people to help Karthik to move the AV system and all. Things are heavy. Yeah. And so when we start yoga, Karen. Yeah. Shanti, Srinidhi. Ramakrishnan, Jasmine, your name. Your name got changed? No, this one's. Yeah. Tirna, new name. New name.
Yeah, I asked the Swamiji if I could use.
Ah.
Puja Swamiji gave me in 2005.
You should use, definitely. Very nice. Now we have Purna, Tirna. Yeah. Yogita, yes.
Kunjan, Naresh, Shambhavi, Karen, Shanti, Srinidhi, Jasmine, Ramakrishna, Tirna, Rohit, Vidya, Satsang, Sumit, Yogita and Rachita.
Okay. So how many people? 2 people enough for moving AV things? Yeah. 2 men can go there to lift the AV things and everything. Yes. Okay, I was just volunteering. All right, yeah. That we'll figure it out. 2 men just go there and the rest find out where to get the cleaning implements. We need jhadu, we need the mop and everything. And whatever chair you are sitting on, take the chair. Whatever asana you are sitting on, take the asanas and the tables. And then this room will be empty for every afternoon hot yoga. Not hatha yoga, hot yoga, Bikram, okay? Yeah. Yes?
Should we take these desks?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Now, there is a little twist in the plot, because otherwise what's the fun, right? On October 2nd, October 1st is the puja is there. So, puja also you don't need books because you are going to be surrendering the books. And then Isha Vasya everybody put, okay? And because I'll tell you there is a strategy behind this. Because you will be getting that back on all your other books and bags can be there. But Isha Vasya you will be getting back and immediately studying on the 2nd right here. Without your asanas, without your tables, doesn't matter, at least you will have your books. It will be a very short class. It will be 15-20 minutes at the most, half an hour class. We can wing it, okay? And then the rest of the classes will be, so if by 11 o'clock everything is done, we will have the Gita class in the other classroom. All right? Yeah. Somebody can come and let me know or text and let me know. All right? Yeah. Any questions about the move? Yeah.
The cleaning services, the yoga hall and classroom, that will be like this will be the yoga hall.
Yeah, this will be the yoga hall, that will be the classroom. Hot yoga. Yeah, it will be the same. Yeah, same schedule. Twice a week I think we clean the classrooms, and I think thrice a week we clean the yoga hall. So now this will be the hot yoga hall. Okay. Yeah. Actually, this is why those bars and all were made here. And in the back there are bolsters and mats, and if there may be some in that room, because we were using that for the last 2 times, and then so somebody can bring, the volunteers can bring them back here. All right? Okay. Yes?
Chanting class will be there.
No, chanting class will be here only. Yeah, because they will have just cleaned. After the chanting class, everybody can take things and go there. If it's already cleaned and somehow one is ahead of time, which is impossible in India, but we may be surprised, we don't know. But if one is ahead of time, then you can have it there. So chanting can be here, and then the tables can go, but only 15 minutes are there. So I don't know. That's a good question. What shall we do with the chanting? Yeah, you will finish it off and already shift, and we can have it there. If it's already shifted, we'll have it there. That's why somebody let me know, because I'll need to know where to go. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. What is this question? Okay. How does Advaita Vedanta differ from Buddhism? Okay, that's the first question. Let us look at that. The very word Advaita tells us something very important. Nadvaita, Nadvaita, Advaita. Simple negation. That which is not dual. Means what? Non-dual. Non-dual means it is one. One means without a second, without any fragmenting, non-dually one. This is important. We are not saying non-dually none. One is there, no? Everywhere it is ekam, ekam. Today also we said the word ekam came in the Ishavasya Upanishad. And ekam, one. One means there is something. It's not shunya. In fact, in Sanskrit there is no word for zero. Zero, the word for zero is pujya. Pujya means the most worshipful one. Because when I see a zero and I say, oh, it is nothing here, that means it's revealing me. Who is me? The most worshipful one. Therefore, the word for zero is pujya. In Sanskrit, even in vernacular languages, in Tamil also, pujyan, zero. Zero is the hero, because zero reveals you as the hero. So this is very, very important to understand. Very nice, very important. So Buddhism is not one monolith religion. It has many, many shades and many, many sects, different sects. And even in ancient times, those sects were there. There is Kshanikavadi and there is Ekasheshi, there is many different kinds of things. Shunyavadi, all these things. So even now there are different sects. If you go to see the kind of Buddhism practiced in Thailand, it is Shunyavada, what in the ancient times was called Shunyavada. Pujya Swamiji went to speak there at the Mahachula Longkorn University, Buddhist University. Very nice place, wonderful place, very good discipline. There they ordain all the people as monks and nuns as soon as they arrive, but it's temporary. They don't give all the vows. Some vows they have to take, and they all wear orange, and then they are there running around on campus and then studying. Then after the study they are asked, you want to continue or you want to go back? Most people go back, and so they leave their dresses for the next batch of students. Which a practice which is also followed in this ashram. Okay, so if you're wondering what to do with your whites at the end of 3 months, here's the answer. So then, so there Swamiji was going to talk, and then the monk, the head monk, who was the dean or the chancellor of that institute, said something introducing Pujya Swamiji in Thai language. Naturally, I was curious. I said, what is he saying? Because I heard Dayananda twice. I said, what is he saying? And what is he saying about Swamiji? And that person translated for me, and he apparently, the monk said, this is a very famous monk from India, and he is going to talk about nothing. And so, and I had to go whisper this to Swamiji. I whispered it into his ear, that a little bit of the translation that I could gather is that you are going to talk about nothing. And Swamiji obliged them and said, as you have heard, I am going to talk today a lot about nothing. And I am going to tell you why nothing is not a topic of conversation, nothing is not a subject matter in philosophy. And he basically trolled them. In those days the word troll was not there, but now we know what it means. He basically trolled them, and they just took it to mean that he was bringing up Shunyavada, but actually he was doing Dushanam, not Bhushanam. Okay? Yeah. So he was not glorifying it, but very clever talk it was. So if you go to a place like Thailand, it's absolute nothingness. The whole self is something, what they call the self, is to be converted immediately into non-self by meditation and all these things. They don't ask the question, who is the one converting and what remains? What remains is nothing. And that nothing is nirvana, according to this on one hand. On the other hand, there are sects like Zen. The word Zen comes from dhyanam. In Japanese, Zen, and then in China it is called Chan, same thing. And so that is very close to Vedanta. They don't say emptiness. In general, they say empty of name, empty of form. And we say, welcome back. That's all it is the same. It is very, very similar. So if that's what they really mean, they are not very far away from Vedanta. It is the same. So when we say what is the difference between Advaita and Buddhism, we have to be cognizant of the fact of which kind of Buddhism we are talking about, because there are many, many shades of it. We can't just put it all in one. Okay. And then there is another question. From a hermeneutic principles viewpoint, how would you define Advaita Vedanta? I don't understand the question. Hermeneutics is the analysis of scripture, is called hermeneutics. So from a hermeneutic standpoint, how will you define Advaita Vedanta? Just like that. This is not that which has no Advaita, Advaita. That which has no Advaita is called Advaita. And that which has that which reveals the truth of oneself. So by negating Dvaita, this gives us a clue into the way in which the pedagogy operates. It is neti neti. So the teaching begins with the negation of all the wrong assumptions that have crept in and have made a home in the cobwebs of the mind. All that has to be swept away. That's why we are beginning the course with cleaning of the classroom tomorrow. The volunteers will also take the rugs, and then don't leave this table and this asan and then tell me you only said each person carries their own asan and their own table. Okay, somebody please carry this for me. And Swamiji's also will be somewhere. There is a stage there, so we don't need the stage, but just go look there and see what all is not there, you bring from here. Yes.
Buddhism and Nagarjuna Shunyavad. So, because Buddhism doesn't believe in God, and Shunyavad tells that it is all null. So, how does karma still, all the religions in India believe in karma and rebirth? So, in Buddhism, how that's going on? Means like if we take Nagarjuna Shunyavad, right? So if in the end it is all void, null.
Shunya comes into the picture only after you have nirvana, you understand everything is shunya.
Okay.
But then you still choose to be born to help other sentient beings who are suffering. That is the choice that one makes. Even though one is quote unquote enlightened or free of whatever, one understands one is shunya, I don't know how, but anyhow. So then when one understands that one is free of sorrow, it is in the Buddhism, then they come back to help other people. Because you see the whole premise is the world is sorrow. This is another difference between Advaita says world is Ananda, you are Ananda, Jagat is Ananda, Ishvara is Ananda, everything is Ananda. There the premise is the world is sorrow.
Yeah, dukham sarvam dukham.
Yes. So if the dukham is real, then what is mithya? You see, they have mithya they have, but they don't have satyam. So if there is only mithya, then what will be, then mithya becomes satyam. And so if mithya becomes satyam, we are trying to remove mithya, keeping on removing mithya doesn't need to be removed. It's already has got a dependent reality. Like the pot and the clay, you don't try to remove the pot in order to see clay. In and through the pot, what can you see? It's clay all the way. So this is the issue. This is the issue. Pujya Swamiji was very, very well aware of it. And there was another story, very beautiful one, which happened. I know one Buddhist monk, and she came to see Pujya Swamiji. She was already a little bit late. She had her own sangha. This was somewhere in the south of the United States, where Pujya Swamiji was touring in Florida. And so somehow she came, met and caught up with him. And she said, I really wanted to have your darshan and I'm very happy, but I need to go back because I'm doing a satsang and I'm teaching. And he said, permission not given to go back. So she had so much shraddha in him. She waited. Then we were going from one place to another. To her dismay, we were going further south. She needed to go north, and we were keeping on going further south. And in the car, he started to debate. What is Shunya? He asked her. And of course, she said nothing. And so, who is the one saying nothing? Me. Are you existent or non-existent? She had no answer. And she was very confused. She says, I think I'm existent, but that's a mental formation, she said. That's not really true. I'm non-existent. I said, and then he said, can you say with a straight face that you are non-existent? Then she said, no, I can't. And then it continued, and then again they had a talk about Mithya and Satyam. There also she lost badly, and she, being an honest person, she said, yes, Buddhism doesn't say anything about this, and yes, this does not make sense. 2-3 very intricate points. Then we reached somewhere southern Florida, where we were being put up for the night in somebody's place, and then they served lunch there. So we all had lunch, and again the monk said to Swamiji, please give me permission to go. He said, no, permission not given. And then she said, what am I missing? She came and asked me, what am I missing? Should I take him more fruits? Should I do something else? What is it that he is wanting? I said, you can try. So this was a very rich person's house. There were fruits lying everywhere. So then she took some fruits and at his feet, and he said, very nice, yeah, patted her on the head and gave her some fruits back as prasad. But still, can I go? No. And then it became dark. We were sitting, talking, and then she hit her head. She said, I have forgotten the basic courtesy in the Vada system. The Vada system means where you debate. So here Pujya Swamiji was debating with her, and what did she do? Did she win or lose? She lost. By all accounts she lost. So then she went to him, lay down flat at his feet and said, I am a loser and I have lost to you. Please make me your disciple. And then he said, oh yeah, now you can go. Your students are waiting. Go. What are you doing here? Go. Gave her some books and then sent her. This is the ancient rule. If you lose to somebody in debate, then what happens? You become their disciple. We see this everywhere. Even the Buddhists are aware of it. This is very interesting. Another Pujya Swamiji and Buddhism story. It was a very evolved and exalted monk by the name of Master Sheng Yen from Taiwan, Zen master, who was a contemporary of Pujya Swamiji. And very interesting, they both had the same situation. They both had kidney and heart, stuff, and they both used to meet. This was in the days of where the interfaith dialogue was very high, and lots of meetings used to be there. So that's why I used to go with Pujya Swamiji to all these things. And so once Pujya Swamiji was not well, so he said, I'm not coming, you go and tell me what all happened. So when I went there, I went to the master, I had an audience with him, and I said to him, he was already 83 by that time, and then I said to him, I would love to see you and Pujya Swamiji debate on the same stage, and we can invite a lot of people, and it will be wonderful because both of you are so erudite. And he just kept quiet. His English was very limited. So, and the interpreter was there, who was a friend of mine, actually, a monk. And so the interpreter translated. He murmured something, the interpreter translated, and the interpreter said, Master says, don't you think I'm too old to be somebody's disciple? Meaning he had already acceded that he would not win. So such beautiful stories are there. It's all, really speaking, the worship, the surrender, and everything, it's all just beautiful to see. In any tradition, prayer, very beautiful to see. And the Zen tradition is very, very special, because they have taken these two values from, that they have taken these two very universal values and made it their own. One is mindfulness. Hinduism also has it. We are supposed to wake up praying and looking at our hands leisurely. We don't, we don't live the day in violent metaphors. I jumped into the shower. Why you have to jump? Just walk, no? Yeah, I jumped into the shower. And then what did you do? I grabbed a bite to eat. See, violent metaphors. Then what did you do? I hit the road. Why you want to hit? Grab, bite. This is what you're doing the whole day. And then what did you do there at the office? I cranked out some emails. Okay, then after that what happened? I became cranky, naturally. Then on the way to the office, what did you do? You hit the road. On the way back, what did you do? You beat the traffic. You see? Hit, beat, scratch, bite, grab. This is what. And no one cooks. I threw something together. Yeah. And if you're a teenager, you will say, I nuked it. And then after that what? I crashed. This is not how we are supposed to lead our lives. Unfortunately, this is how we lead our lives, but this is not how we are supposed to lead our lives. We're supposed to look at our hands and say, the goddess of wealth dances, resides at the tips of my fingers. Karagre vasate Lakshmihi. So abundance is at the tip of my fingers, and what is backing the abundance is the goddess of wisdom. And what is backing that is consciousness. Govinda, Gobhihi Vindate Yaha, that which is found through words. What is revealed through words? Consciousness, Ishvara, that is backing everything. And when you put your feet on the ground, you say a silent prayer to Mother Earth, and then after that you go about the day. Eating is a yajna, bathing is a yajna. Gange cha yamane chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Asmin bucket jale Sannidhim Kuru, please enter this miserable bucket of water. Yes. That is what. And then you do the same thing to Bhagavan. We are not a shower culture at all. Imagine if you go to a temple and the pujari turns on the shower. There is a shower on top of. Maybe we are going to have that in the future, I don't know. But it would be kind of disconcerting. You go and they just turn on the shower. You're supposed to bathe, and same thing which you do to Bhagavan, you do to yourself. Because where is Bhagavan? Right here. You put tilakam, chandanam, kumkumam, vibhuti, anything. Something you put to mark that energy center which is a connection to here. And then you adorn flowers in your hair for the same reason. It's not for you. It's for the indweller within. It's not for the ahankara. It's for the indweller within. What a culture this is. So this is how we are supposed to lead our lives. All that is already there. But in the Zen tradition, they have taken it and made it very, very deliberate treatise on mindfulness. And the other one they have taken is compassion. Those two things which attract everybody. Compassion is a very, very big value in the Buddhist culture. Yeah. You are getting the mic. So, take the mic and talk. You have a question about what?
I have a question about this morning's Vedanta class.
Yes.
Swamiji was mentioning about Vyavaharika Satta.
Yes.
And said that eventually this world, Jagat, Vyavaharika Satta, eventually turns into Pratipajika Satta. Can you explain a little bit
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah. So we begin, our studies begin with being grounded, because we can't suddenly go away somewhere. So our studies begin with the discussion of the three orders of reality. First is what? Paramarthika Satta, which is absolute. There is no pain, no sorrow, no confusion, and no Vedanta. Why? Because only when there is pain, sorrow, confusion, then you need Vedanta. Otherwise you don't need Vedanta. So here there is no pain, no sorrow, no confusion. All is one, and nobody is fighting, because to fight, how many people you need? Two at least. Here there is only one, only, without a second. And so there is no vijatiya bheda, there is nothing other than you, there is no swajatiya bheda, there is nothing like you, there is no swagata bheda, there is not the left hand fighting with the right hand, because Brahman doesn't have hands. Apanipado javano grihita. So apanipadam Brahma, that which doesn't have karmendriyas, no organs of action, no sense organs, nothing. And so this is the Paramarthika Satta, and understanding which, abiding in which, the Brahmavit, the knower of Brahman, Brahmaiva Bhavati, understands that one is Brahman and everything is, and nothing is wrong with the world. Nothing at all is wrong with the world. In fact, for a jnani, if somebody else has to point out that something is wrong with the world, do something about it. Otherwise, they'll just be in their own glory. And so, that is Paramarthika Satta. Satta means reality. The next Satta is something which we are very familiar with, which is the empirical reality. One is the absolute reality, which we just described. Then the second one is the empirical reality. What is the empirical reality? Vyavaharika Satta. What is Vyavaharika Satta? Where there is everywhere there is a big complaint box, where you with a little place where you can keep putting all your complaints. You can say this is not okay, that is not okay, here is a problem, there is a problem, everywhere is a problem. You can keep saying, and you can see that there is duality. What kind of a duality it is? It is like the duality of a lump of clay and then a pot. And the lay person's eyes will see two things. That is a clump, this is a pot. This is different from that. But the eyes of Vedanta will see what? Both are clay. So Vyavaharika Satta means we acknowledge the duality for the time being. Why? Because it's in between Sat, that which is ever existent, never non-existent, in between Sat, and then Asat, that which is non-existent. How can something be in between existence and non-existence? That is the beauty of Maya. Aghatita ghatana patiyasi Maya. What does this Maya do? She is up to some mischief. The impossible she makes possible. So that's how something is hanging between existence and non-existence, and that thing is called Jagat, starting with your own body, mind, sense complex. Is the body existent? You can't say no because it is sitting here. You can't say yes because it will go to the grave some point or the other, or it will go on a pyre of wood, logs, whichever is the mode of disposal. So therefore it is in between existence and non-existence. And what does that mean? It is a dependent reality. So this whole Jagat is an as though effect of Brahman, which is imbued with an as though causality, and so this effect is dependent upon the cause. Nay, the effect is non-separate from the cause. So therefore this is Vyavaharika Satta, second order of reality. Then the third order of reality is my own private personal reality that says things like no one loves me, nobody cares, nobody loves me even though I love them, nobody pays attention to me, nobody wants to be my friend. These kinds of absolute statements have flooded the head. This is how it is, and it cannot be any other way. This has flooded my head. Which means what? Is it true? Say no so we can move on. Yeah. Don't sit and believe it. Okay? Yeah. Is it true that nobody loves you? No. Is it true that nobody wants to be your friend? No. Is it true that that you are all alone and then this is how it will be and you will have a miserable life? No. It is not true. But it feels so true that it becomes a samskara, becomes a strong samskara. What is samskara? Samskar or the other. Okay? That's what it is. And so, therefore, this is the pratibhasika, as Swamiji said, I see it, therefore it is there, therefore it must be true. And how is it different from vyavaharika? It is there, therefore I can interact with it, whatever the it is, that reality. So these are the three orders of reality. Now how does Vedanta teaching proceed? So the Vedanta teaching first resolves the pratibhasika into the vyavaharika. Pratibhasika cannot be resolved straight away into paramarthika. There is no basis for it. The pratibhasika, I have to learn to live in this empirical world objectively, unfettered by my subjective thoughts, feelings and perceptions, because those perceptions are not a reality. Those perceptions are not a reality, so I have to learn to be living objectively. And so the Vedanta helps one to take away the subjective patina, the layer in the head, in the antakarana, with the sweeping of the cobwebs of long entrenched, well entrenched notions about the I, about the Jagat, about Ishvara, about other jivas. So Jiva Jagat Ishvara Bheda. Jiva Bheda, difference between one jiva and the other jiva. Jiva Ishvara Bheda, jiva and Ishvara are different. I am separate from Ishvara. And then Jiva Jagat Bheda, I am separate from the Jagat. Jagat Ishvarayoho Bheda api, because Ishvara is different from the Jagat. These are all theologies. Some theologies say God made the world but is not in the world, went away somewhere, went to heaven to sit there. So this way the Vedanta Shastra first attacks not Vyavaharika Satta, first attacks what? Pratibhasika. The Pratibhasika has to wear out its welcome. So whatever I feel is not real. No matter how real the feelings may appear, it is still an appearance, it has no basis in reality. And then as the clarity grows, the Pratibhasika lenses, the colored lenses, the grey lenses, which makes the Jagat seem very dull and monotone, drop. And then you can easily Ishvarize the Jagat. Ishvarize, is that a word? Yes, it is now. So you can Ishvarify the Jagat, you can Ishvarize the Jagat as the scales of subjectivity are scraped away by the Mahavakya vision. The vision of Vedanta scrapes away the scales of subjectivity. And now how many orders of reality we have? Vyavaharika and Paramarthika. So, as I am living in Vyavaharika and as the scales of Pratibhasika are dropping, I become a bhakta, I surrender to the altar and everything. And then, after surrendering to the altar called Ishvara in the form of the orders and the laws of the universe, then what happens? Then I understand that the object of bhakti is who? Ishvara and me are one. So then, where have I entered now? Paramarthika Satta. Then, for the one sitting, abiding in, the one who has Paramarthika Sattayam Nishtha, the one who has Nishtha means Nitaram Sthitihi, the one who has a well entrenched assimilation of this vision and an abidance in this vision. For that person, what happens to the Jagat? This is what Swamiji was talking about. What happens to the Jagat? Is it what is called Jagadandhya Prasangaha? The Jagat is non-existent. No, we won't say that for the Jnani the Jagat is non-existent. The Jagat is more or less forgotten. Vismriti Prayaha. Jagataha Vismriti Prayaha. Adi Shankara only says in the Kathopanishad Bhashya it will come. So, meaning that the Jagat is not an object of sorrow anymore. The Jagat is not an object of consternation. The Jagat is not an object of fear. So then, what is it? It is simply there. As what? Like even a projection. What is a projection? A dream is a projection. So it has a dream-like state, and so the Jagat is like a dream. So first I see the Jagat as Ishvara's projection, and now that I am understanding myself as one with Ishvara, then I see the Jagat as what? My own projection. This is very, very beautiful. First, everything is non-separate from me, but then whatever separation you see to account for the empirical reality, it becomes like a dream. What is the dream? My own projection. You may be having a birthday party. Where? Where is the cake? In the dream, yeah. In the dream you are having a birthday party, and then what happens? You invite the people, and then you have a nice place, maybe the backyard of your house. If it is big enough, you invite all the people, and then there are, of course, just the people is not enough. You need cake, you need candles, you need other kinds of snacks. And then, what else is there? You are there. So who is you? You, of course, is you. Who are your friends? Are they really there? No. You have projected them. You have given them a body. You have given them a mind. And you have made them bring for you big presents, which they can barely carry. Where? In the dream. Okay? Yeah. And then alarm rings. Poof. Where did they all go? You woke up, you turned on the light in your room. Where are your friends? Are they sitting on your bed? Huh? No. If it would be very inconvenient if they were sitting on your bed. They would say, how dare you dream me? I have things to do. I didn't want to come to Rishikesh. I'm living in Mumbai. I have to go to work. What are you doing? They're not really there. Poof, they are gone. And then you look at yourself, your dress. There is no cake morsels on your body. On the bed sheet, there are no pieces of cake. It's all a projection and a withdrawing. Dream comes under Pratibhasika. Mistake also comes under Pratibhasika. Nightmare also comes under Pratibhasika. But for the Jnani, when we say the Jagat Vismriti Prayaha or Jagataha Vismriti Prayaha, or we say that for the world is pratibhasika, we don't mean it in a nightmarish capacity or in a shoka moha capacity. We mean it in a dream-like capacity. Is that clear? Yeah.
Yesterday, and I think this morning, it was said, you don't control anything. Can you explain that, please?
Yes. See, I couldn't control that this question would come, for example. What do you control, really? The word control itself has to be used in a controlled manner because it's the truth. Whenever I have the feeling I'm controlling something, then there are 10 other forces controlling me. Yeah. As soon as I go under that illusion, oh, I'm controlling a few people, I'm very important. Look at me, I have so many people working under me. And then one understands that one is controlled. Even the biggest corporate CEO, COO. What is COO? What is that? Operating officer, whatever. So COO, CEO, whatever. All the words, the letters, the acronyms that start with C, they will be big bosses on top of that person also. Then you go to their big bosses, they will have some other big bosses who are sitting in other countries, making a lot of money just for existing, okay, without working. They work 1 day a week, whereas the rest of the world gets 1 day off. So this is how it is. Everybody has a boss. And even the person who says, I don't have a boss, is controlled by the markets, the finances, the vagaries of crashes and things. In fact, many astrologers are predicting a big crash. So, world crash, global crash, economic crash. Even though we predict that, that's still not under control. Nothing we control.
So that means that we don't have free will, and if that is so,
I was dreading the question on free will.
then how it's like if all things are predefined.
I can't hear you. What was that?
So if all things are predefined,
Wait for the mic. It will come.
okay, so do we have free will or not is the first question. And if we don't have a free will, then if nothing is under the power of us, then how can we be, means like whatever karma we are doing, then that is also predefined. So we don't have a role to change our own lives.
You had the free will to ask the question, correct? You chose to ask the question. And I am choosing to answer it. That itself should tell us some things. Yes? No? Yeah. So there is a lot of confusion about karma and free will. Oh, karma, karma, karma. And then Hindus are so deterministic. We are so deterministic. Everything we say, prarabdha, prarabdha, prarabdha. And people used to come to Pujya Swamiji with their horror scopes. Okay, scope of horrors. And then they would show it to Pujya Swamiji and say, Swamiji, 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 am I going to get moksha? And he would say, yes, you are going to get moksha. And he would send everybody away. I'm sure there are people in this audience also who have done that. So, given the horoscope and said, am I going to get moksha? And then, I used to sit with him many times, and especially when he was reading horoscopes, and then he used to show me and say, what do you see? And he would ask me, and little bit, whatever, some discussions used to take place. And so one day he said, when somebody came and said, am I going to get moksha? And he said, yes, you are going to get moksha. Then that person left. Then that person had left the horoscope behind. So I opened the horoscope, looked at it and showed it to Swamiji and said, Please show me where you see this person getting moksha. Which house, what should be there? Where should the Jupiter be? Where should the Saturn not be? Where should the Shukra? What is Shukra? Venus. Where should the Venus be? Where should the Mars be? And he just went like this with a twinkle in his eye. He said, I tell everybody that they are going to get moksha. I am not lying because they already have moksha. They already have moksha. They don't have to do anything. And also then the second thing he said is moksha is purushartha. It is not prarabdha. Prarabdha means deterministic, that it is already ordained. Imagine if moksha was such that it could be read from the horoscope. Oh, you will never get a horoscope. Imagine you will never get moksha. Then imagine how depressed that person would be. Even though they had jignasa, the desire to study, the desire to know, still they would be miserable. So therefore, what we call prarabdha is free will, our own free will, either well used or misused in the past lives. So it is our own karma phala of our own free will, either used in accordance to dharma or against dharma. When the free will is used in accordance to dharma, what happens? You get comfortable situations known as punya, which brings us to places like ashram, study, desire to learn, all these things, samskaras one gets. Then if the free will leads us to go away from dharma, then what happens? You get papa, because as a consequence of unrighteous living, not only is your own value system and you are harmed, but everybody around you is also harmed. You have hurt people. You have divested them of their peace of mind, of their money, of their belongings. You have defrauded them, whatever one has done. And so because of that, we get uncomfortable situations that we have to look at. And so therefore, what do? We say that the free will of the past is canned and wrapped in a gift wrap and given by Bhagavan. That is my own free will coming back. So I can't complain that it is some deterministic thing happening to me. That's why I am prayerful. That's why I change the course of my life to be very dharmic, to be extremely following dharma at all times, because I don't want to deal with bad karma or difficult or challenging karma. So when I choose to follow dharma, I am making a choice with this free will that I have been blessed with now. So you can either say it's free will, free will, free will all the way, or you can say it is Bhagavan, Bhagavan, Bhagavan all the way. The free will that we speak of is not really free except in prayer and except in reaching out actions, charity, helping, etc. Enough. Go to sleep. Yeah. Tomorrow again we'll have.
Is there a Q&A tomorrow?
Yes, there will be. That was your question? Okay, yeah. So, good. Short question. Yes, we can have Q&A. Tomorrow is not Wednesday, is it? Okay. We'll have satsang tomorrow. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet, asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritangamaya. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi